Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Dion's Daily Dose, this time with
me,
your favorite candidate's
wife who is a loudmouth.
Right. Yes, she does. I can't argue with that. I'm not going to try to argue with that. So, Jack, hey, Jack, how's it going? Good to see you. So today we're going to talk, and I can't even say it with a straight face. SignGate.
SignGate 2020.
SignGate 2020. I don't know who came up with this name.
Connie.
It's possible. I don't know, but all right. So let's get this screen shared here. So I don't know if you've heard, but Mayor McDermott has publicly thrown a lot of shade towards his primary opponent, Frank Mervin.
Wait, is it Mervin or is it Mervan? Because
I don't know.
I hated people messing up my last name.
True,
so I don't want to
true.
mess up
If it's Mervan, just put Van in the comments, please, if someone knows how to say his last name. Because it irks me when people constantly mess up my name as well. So anyway, he was going around saying that Frank Mervan, whichever it is, Frank was going around stealing his signs, right? There was a post.
He put it on his own personal.
Yeah, but then somebody. So
somebody. Yeah.
Yeah. So allegedly, this guy took his sign and he went public with it and was like, "Oh, why are people taking my signs?"
So what happened is there was a sign and it was in like that strip of lawn that you have between your house and the street. I don't know what that's called. And political signs, like right there in the video, aren't supposed to be there. They're supposed to be on your property. So this dude in a truck, I don't know who it is, but let's call him Joe. Joe came, and what McDermott showed in the video was it looked like Joe literally pulled the sign up and then split. Supposedly the video came out that was a little less edited, and it showed that he moved it, and the guy said, "No, I moved it." And people are saying, "Well, McDermott should apologize. This isn't really what happened." I'm now hearing rumblings that this was inauthentic. I'm not going to say from who. I'm not, because I don't know if that person wants that to come out.
And we haven't been able to confirm that, or we just know that
this is an
inauthentic
video, allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
That supposedly this person was on the team and actually set this whole thing up to get McDermott some press about it.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Look, here's what I'm going to say, right? It's a sign. Signs don't vote. Okay? I take my signs out there. I put them to people that, have asked for them. By all means, I bring you a sign. Somebody apparently has nothing better to do than to go around and take signs or stage sign
then there's
theft.
Rumors that staged sign damage.
Yeah, that certain signs have been damaged and it was all a big setup and a staged event and all this stuff.
According to McDermott, he has put up 6,000 signs.
Yeah.
Now, I did the math again. I'm always doing the math. And the square mileage of just Lake County and Porter County, leave alone our little sliver of the district, that equals 5 signs in 1 square mile.
Yeah, he's got five signs per square mile, approximately.
If you put your signs where you're supposed to, legally and with permission, you have enough signs to replace the signs to replace those signs, but I am not saying anyone should damage anybody's signs.
Don't
Don't move the signs if they're in a spot. I've taken photos and been like, this is an empty lot, it has the McDermott sign. Call the town, call the street department, have them remove it. Call the campaign, have them remove it. Do not go and uproot signs and take them down and destroy them. Don't do that. I don't care what camp or team you're for. Don't do it. I have said, I think more in the last day, because I talk a lot, I'm for authenticity and fairness, and maybe not in the political world that exists, but let's make authentic videos. Let's get authentic endorsements. Let's put signs where they're supposed to be. Let's be fair. As Republicans, whoever wins the nomination, whoever, they are going to be facing one heck of a candidate with money, with a machine, with a determination to keep this district Democrat, to keep it blue.
Yeah, that's one thing I will say is no matter who wins the primary, right? Whoever this person may be, needs to be prepared for all-out political warfare, because the left is going to do absolutely everything in their power to hold on to that power, to this seat. It's one of their only seats in Indiana. It's one of the only areas in Indiana, very close to Chicago. It is positively one of the feathers in their cap, and they are going to do everything that they can to ensure that they keep power here. Now, what does this mean for the person who wins?
Well, I'll say this. I went on a little bit of a tangent last night because you see endorsements in general coming in for all candidates. Mara got an endorsement from Luis Gutierrez, radical left. McDermott got an endorsement from a PAC in Colorado. Why, how, I don't know. Endorsements are important. Endorsements are what a common person like me would use to decide who to vote for. We cannot, as a Republican side, accept endorsements that could be used against us. And I'm not saying that any have gotten them. My point is this. If you have a candidate that is endorsed by someone, that endorsement has to be good, because they're going to use that against the candidate.
Yeah,
they're going to say, oh, you got endorsed by this person, and this person is horrible. We have to lock ourselves up tight, because this race, after June 3rd, it's on. Yeah. So come together, but if you're getting an endorsement from someone and that person might be questionable, think before sharing, because I don't want to see anything come and bite a candidate in the butt.
Right.
We have to be lock, stock, barrel, no fodder. We have to be tight. We have to come together. Even if my husband doesn't win the primary, I'm gonna say I'm gonna be a little grouchy for a couple days.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about family. The one thing, and I actually talked to somebody today who was like, is it a negative that you have teenagers? I said, well, why would that be a negative? And they said, well, for me, right, when I pick my congressman, I want someone who has no obligations, right? And I said, okay, I can understand that. I said, but number one, it's not like I have to be home for my kids the way, a single parent would have to be. My wife works from home. She stays home with the kids other than when she has meetings and little things that she has to do. She's primarily at the house. Secondary to that is I believe that I can speak for all the parents out there whose children have been stuck at home for this e-learning adventure, right? Many of whom had to quickly adjust their schedule in order to scramble. Suddenly their kids are home. They're used to being at school, every day, during the day, all day. Now they're suddenly home all the time. What am I going to do? I got to feed, lunch. I got to feed them, a little bit bigger and better breakfast. Sometimes, they would eat at school. Now they're not. Now they're home every single day. Someone without children doesn't know that. They can believe that they can understand that, but they really don't.
And I do want to say this. We have an amazing family, an
Yes.
amazing group of friends, an amazing support system that we had before this and we'll have after this.
Yeah.
They didn't have on board the Bergeron train just because of this. We are a team. There are going to be congressmen that are going to face the real pretty girls in Washington.
Now, I've already
to be that press material. We're a team, so any obligation, it's not an obligation. It's not a distraction. I'm home. I got this down. His job is to the resident, still me. So, but there's no obligations, and our oldest is going to graduate high school next year.
Yeah.
Let me see if I get this right. Our middle child is going into high school and also going to be working in partnership with Notre Dame in an early advanced honors college.
Yeah.
Any support I'm going to need is going to be academic because I don't know trigonometry and I don't know math.
Yeah.
And we have an awesome school system.
Yeah.
So when he goes to Washington, when he's in his regional office, you have all of him. And there is no separate. We're a team. I talk too much. I've learned that my expectations of the political world are not really what's possible.
Yeah. She believes far too strongly in people. She believes in the good of people. I understand the reality. Most people are good, but there are still plenty of people out there that use things that shouldn't be utilized, that look for ways to use people to make backroom deals, to do things like this. They think about themselves over the district. That's the reality of the situation. I understand that. She has a little bit harder time with that, but
we also have a direct line into the first time voters, the upcoming voters, the youth. It's a whole other world.
It really is.
And I'm lagging. I just saw my face like blur. That was crazy.
Yeah, that's the processor should take care of that once it comes on. Yeah, that's
he's got a direct line into what our youth are facing, what our youth are dealing with. They're going to be dealing with like Orion. He was 5 when the first Great Recession came.
Yeah.
He's 18 and there's another one. That changes everything for that age group. He can tap into that. They actually think he's the cool dad. They actually like hanging out with him.
Yeah.
But we have the ear to that world because we're parents of that world. We're parents. We have insight that I think no other candidate has. For
I don't know of any other candidates on the right.
And all that.
Yeah, at least on the right that have teen children. I have 2 adult children on the East Coast in Leftyville. I hear, as a matter of fact, let's just say their politics are very, very different than mine. They want nothing to do with the campaign. Here's the funny part. I personally believe that were I running on the other ticket, they'd be all about it. Personally,
it's their environment, and
it is their environment. Yeah, they're
young. They're 20.
Yeah. Yeah, in their 20.
No,
24.
They're early 20s. Yeah. About to be 20.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when I was 20, my views were different.
Which is really funny though, because when you look at my youngest daughter versus Orion, they're not that far apart in age.
2 years
Yeah, there's only 2-year age difference, but there's a very, very different mentality there, and it comes from growing up in different areas, but also nature versus nurture, right? It's an interesting study, but
I mean, his ex-wife's great.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
the daughter's mom, the girl's mom is great. We actually had her at our wedding because she wanted to see the girls.
Yeah,
I'm gonna skip the last race, but she wants to see the girls get all dressed up and walk down the aisle.
Right.
Okay. She came to me and she said, when Dion was an over-the-road truck driver, a lot of wives worried oh no, does he have a girlfriend in every town? She said, I never had to worry. I knew he was going to go to work. I knew he was going to work his butt off for our family. I knew he was going to be a good husband even when he was away from me. You're getting a good husband. And that's an ex-wife telling the upcoming wife, here you go, good, rare. So she's a great person, and the girls had a great mom. We disagreed.
Yeah.
What parents and exes don't.
Right.
Great woman.
Yeah. There are a number of things that we disagree on as far as raising children go, but you're going to have that. Mm-hmm. But I have already, anyone who's on social media has those bots, right? The bots that reach out to you, and the slime that tries to worm their way in. Oh, does your wife support your campaign? And all this silly stuff. There are going to be, and we've heard of the rumors of the blackmail and the this and the that goes on. I am not even remotely concerned. Not only did I work in a maximum security prison, I am I take my vows very, very seriously. If you're going to swear to something, then you should stand by it. Is a huge part of that. But let's look at, like we have on the board, right? Life before, during, and after the primary. That is her. That's her writing, as you can tell.
I need like the lines.
Yeah, mine's not perfect either, so don't stress too hard.
Writing on walls is not part of my job.
Right,
but
there is
life
that.
Before, during, after, and when I wrote that, I was thinking June 1st, the day June 2nd, and the day after. These are 3 days that for the 6 on the right and the 500,000 that are running on the left.
Right.
Or the 14.
Yeah, 14.
These are probably going to be the most craziest, stressful.
Oh yeah.
For 2 wonderful, exciting. Two people are gonna find the golden tickets.
Right.
And the other ones aren't.
Yep.
What's our life gonna look like? June 1st, June 2nd, and June 3rd.
Yeah.
June 1st is.
She's going to be in pure panic mode.
Oh.
Pure panic mode.
Has maybe clued
thanks
in
for joining
to see
us.
me on Facebook. You have seen me in anxiety.
Yeah.
I don't like not knowing. I struggle with not knowing when I interview for a job and then they're like, oh, we'll call you Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm a wreck. I don't like being up in the air. I like to have some idea. So for me, June 1st, I am very grateful that I believe I have meetings that day. I can get myself out of it.
Yeah.
But we will be going around and putting in the signs at the polling location. Since this is the first time for us, I'd be interested to see what people think. Do the signs at the polling places truly matter? Like, when you go and vote, are you looking at signs as some last-ditch Hail Mary, Lord or God or whoever you call to? Show me the sign of who I'm supposed to vote for, and the first sign you see, that's who you vote for, or does it not matter? I know when I've gone to the polling places before, there's so many. Yeah. There's just so many that I just want to get in, vote, and get out. So do signs even matter?
Yeah, what's your opinion? Let me know.
Paul, I need a level of control too.
Yeah.
Me and you got it.
Yeah, she struggles with any little loss of control, with any degree of uncertainty. It really, really bugs her.
I'm learning. I think that this is. I'm a Christian, so let me just preface that. And if you're not, I think you can still understand. We have to learn patience. I don't want to say I pray for that, because we all know if you pray for that, learn not to control everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's
maybe
hard.
That's what I'm learning through this. It is what it is. It will be what it will be. What's meant to be is meant to be. Just do your best.
Yeah.
And let's just follow.
You can't stress over things you can't control. But the day before primary, I guess at 6 p.m. the night before, you're allowed to start putting signs out at various polling places. So that's what my night is going to consist of, going from place to place to place and putting signs up. Obviously, a lot of communication, a lot of, hey, did you do this? Did you do that? Hopefully I can get, more people to put up. Otherwise, I'm going to be spending a lot of time on the road.
I will say, our budgets for signs were not as big as the big ballers.
Right. Yeah. Look, I couldn't afford 6,000 signs even if I wanted to. And I personally look at that much of an expenditure as I look at it as a waste of money.
You see the
Maybe for the
so
general, right? Maybe. But for a primary, look, let's face it, as much as we might wish it was otherwise, the vast majority of people are going to sit home on primary voting day.
Yes.
They're just not going to go vote in the primary. Now, some of that has to do with Indiana and, the fact that you have to declare a party. There are those that are just like, nope, I refuse to do that. I understand that. Some of it has to do with, well, it doesn't matter. The right person's going to win regardless. And other people are just like, I'll just wait till the general and,
Right.
Make my decision.
I do have a question. One candidate who's very, very green, she said that she's not sending out junk mail, which I understand. Junk mail is a huge waste of paper.
I'm not sending out mailers either, just
But
FYI.
it's bad for the environment, so she's not doing it. Are her giant signs recyclable? That's just my question.
I will say that the windmills that she pushes are not.
They are not, and
Yeah,
these signs
just
are
saying.
probably 6 feet long.
Yeah.
So are we gonna have giant sheets of plastic? I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know.
I don't know if every polling place will have a Dion sign.
They won't. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't have enough signs to put signs at every single polling place. I'm not even sure which ones are going to be open, if all of them are going to be open or only a select number of them. I'm going to put as many signs as I can in the various locations. And it is what it is. So that's the night of, right? The night before the primary hits. Now,
June 2nd.
June 2nd.
It's pretty exciting for me, aside from you.
Yeah.
Because it will be the first election my child votes in. So
That's a big deal for a parent.
Really, really excited
Yeah.
about that.
I am too. I am
I'm
too.
trying to find if there's any YouTube instructional videos of what it's going to look like when he gets in the booth. Not with people's names, but here's
Right.
how you vote. And if there aren't, someone should make those. Here's what you
Yeah.
do. Here's what you press.
For Indiana, because
For
we have the
Indiana.
little machines,
So I'm pretty excited that my son's going to have a part in claiming his stake in the future. And
Right.
the way I have raised him is the way my dad did me all along. When you go and vote in that booth, you can tell me who you want to vote for, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really hope he votes for D. But I don't know. It's his right. It's his voice.
Yeah.
He can claim whatever party he wants because that's what makes our country great. But I'm pretty sure he's going to vote. I'm about 99.9% sure he's going to vote Republican and vote for him.
Yeah.
But so election day, we vote early. If I can wait in line at Meijer to get groceries, I can wait in line to cast a vote.
That's right.
And then
That's right.
I will be back at home. I have some meetings. My life, I have a job, and my job doesn't stop because
Right.
of what is going on in my personal life.
Yeah.
So I'm very glad for those meetings.
They'll
with
help to
some
take
my
her mind
favorite
off
people,
of it. Yeah.
And especially I have one that's later. So as the day goes on, I will be able to do my meetings and get out of the headspace for a while.
Yeah.
6 o'clock hits. I don't know how long it takes for. I know for like president and stuff how long the results take. I don't know how long it's going to take for these results to get in. Come like 6:15, I'm going to be pretty.
She's going to be a
done
wreck.
for.
She's going to be a wreck.
And
Now.
I'm trying to figure out how we're going to see numbers because we undid our cable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now
We
we're have
unplugged.
to figure that out.
I'm sure that there's a way on the internet to check the numbers and keep track of live what it's looking like, all this and that.
Having some really close friends and
Yeah,
family.
yeah.
over.
We'll have some people over for our victory / get drunk enough to forget party.
Either here comes November, or we tried, we did good, we met some really great people along the way.
Yeah.
We're grateful for that. So that's June 2nd.
Yeah.
June 3rd, if it is not Dion, I think, we'll be upset for a few days.
Of course, yeah. You'll be, you'll. Oh, Lakeshore PTV.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you kick the sheets, you'll be like, man, this is crap. But you get over it, right? You get over it, and you realize that life goes back to normal, right?
Yep.
I will say this. Look, the general consensus, as far as I've heard, seems to be between me and Spencer Lemons. I like Spencer. I don't think that he'll make a bad representative. My big concerns come in with whether or not Spencer can win the general, because we have a large population of Democrat voters, and he's very right. He's very, very right.
I also, I'm say this in all honesty. Let's say Spencer wins the Republican nomination,
Yeah.
and McDermott wins the Democrat. I am very worried.
Yeah.
For Spencer's professional safety and personal safety, because we have seen how desperate McDermott, and I'm saying this all out, how desperate McDermott has become, and desperate men. I told someone this. Desperate men, desperate people. You can't trust them.
Right.
So I will be praying for his safety,
Yeah.
and his professional safety and
Yeah.
personal safety, because some of McDermott's toadies,
Yeah.
that's what scares me.
In reality, Melissa Borum actually said that she has been threatened. She has been harassed by people who work for or are at least influenced by the mayor.
She went on WJOB.
Yeah, she went on WJOB and actually talked about that. Unfortunately, here's the bottom line, right? No one has any power over me. If I win the primary, they don't have anything. We admit the mistakes that I've made in the past, the issues that I've had, and moving on from there. They don't have, unfortunately, McDermott is Spencer's boss.
Yes.
Like, he's the mayor. Spencer works for the police department.
That's why I am afraid.
Yeah, I'm very concerned. If I lose, I lose. It is what it is. But I would be concerned about him.
It's important that we, as a party, rally around our candidate.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody earlier today, and we were talking about how you very much hear McDermott and Mervan.
Yeah.
But there is, according to this individual, Harper seems to be gaining momentum. Harper comes from a lot of money.
Yeah.
Our candidates are all your typical, and I find this funny, supposedly the Republican Party is all about money and the Democrats are all about the people.
Yeah.
All the money is on the Democrat side.
It's all on the left.
We are going to have to rally around whichever candidate wins.
Yeah.
And speak and fundraise and knock on doors, provided we can.
Yeah.
We're going to have to come together around whoever it is.
Yes.
And fundraise, pray over, be vocal. This is historic. We can do something that is historic.
Yeah.
But it's going to take the entire party. Your person doesn't win, cry, mourn, and then we're going to pick ourselves up.
Yeah.
Everybody is, and really, really come together as a district.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've said it before, and I mean it. No matter who wins the Republican primary, with the exception of one person, we will all, get behind them and help. I'm not going to work for someone who isn't going to put the work in themselves. That's all there is to it.
I've encountered this question. Well, why would we vote Republican? Well, why not? We've had Democrat leadership in this district for 90 years, and let me ask you something. I've been in the district except for 2 years when we lived in District 2.
Yeah.
But I worked in this district, and I've lived in this district for 40 years.
Yeah.
Are we...
Almost.
40. Are we the beacon of... Do other districts envy us? They should. We've had Democratic control for 90 years, and they're the best party of all. Our district...
Are they?
Well, according to them, they are.
There you
according
go.
to them...
Right.
I'm sorry. According to them, they are the best party. They're the one of hope and change, and they're going to bring jobs. How are we doing?
Right.
Can you say that our district is better than it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Of course, things cycle, but
Right.
I don't see this huge change. So if someone says, well, why vote Republican? Why not? Let's try change. Change is good. We
Right.
change things all the time.
Absolutely.
If it doesn't work, we can go back, but
Yeah.
let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
How's socialism working out for everyone? I have never once before been afraid of when I go to the grocery store of there not being food. That's red lines,
Yeah.
socialism. We're living it. How is that working for you? If we give away all our money to everyone, we're all going to be equally rich but equally poor.
Yep. Yeah. And what? So, look, I'm going to talk just a moment about Harper, just for a split second, because I guess this guy, he's very, very left. He's over there with Hake and
He's a progressive
Costello.
Democrat.
Yeah, very,
That's the
very
term.
progressive Democrat, aka socialist. You ever notice it's always these rich white liberals that believe
I agree with Paul.
that believe that the key to everything is to take money away from hardworking Americans and give it to those who don't have it. Yeah, Paul says, I think the steel industry is now worse than the 80s downturn. I would agree with you. At least then there was some hope, right? Unfortunately, now, if we don't get someone into this office that is pro-America, pro-American manufacturing and business, look, unions are great, okay? I have a wealth of respect for unions, but that in and of itself is not enough. We need that. If you pick someone who's just look, Pete's a prime example. Pete walked, he's walked the picket lines with the union. He talked a lot, but what did he actually get done for the steel industry? It took President Trump coming in and going, this is BS. Tariffs, let's make it happen. We need someone who's going to go to Washington for all of you, not just the red, not just the blue, but all of us, and say, we don't want this anymore.
Yes. This is how far
Yeah.
I go back. This is how much I
Here. So
live
let's
for
see if you can see.
Inland Steel, which is now ArcelorMittal.
I don't think you can really see it.
Late
Probably
50s,
share it to.
late
Here, hold on.
50s maybe.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can get this to where you can see it. Hold on.
That's when they had close to 20 or 30,000 people working there. It used to be a small city. Now it's not. My dad's dad worked from the blast furnace up to the administrative office and became a buyer for ArcelorMittal and bought that Christmas tree. Bought this Christmas tree before a giant Christmas party. I can't be any more of the mill than I am, and I have friends and family that work there now and are laid off.
Yeah.
And part of it's the market, and the market will come back and jobs will come back. But that's the heart of the region, and you need a candidate who understands that. And I know Spencer says that I believe he has family who
he said his dad was a union worker.
My family goes back generations in the mill to my great grandfather, my aunts. My dad said, used to be able to get a summer job at the mill. And I had a summer job, then I met your mother, and then the summer job turned into 30 plus
forever.
years.
Right.
I'm also a child of the South Shore.
Yeah. Yeah, she used to take the South Shore to work
South Shore. I
every
worked
day.
in Chicago. It took an hour and a half. But I remember my mom getting on the train and us dropping her off, picking her up in the East Chicago lot. I remember riding the train to downtown Chicago. Grew up in a subdivision in Munster that they designed for vets coming back and using their GI Bill from World War II.
Yep.
This is an of the region family. that there is no, let me reassure you, any steel mill workers or labor or union, if he came home from Washington, D.C. and did anything that would mess with the mills or the union, um, we might be missing a congressman.
You don't say stuff like that. They can use that against you.
I will just keep you locked in the bathroom. You'll be fine. I'll slide pancakes on the
Wow.
door.
Jack said, my grandfather, first employee
Wow.
of USS, 1915, hired in as a carpenter. I have his 10 badge.
That's
wow.
awesome.
Wow.
When you are married into a family that is of the region and still works at the mills, you can pretty much guarantee that he has a personal vested interest in making sure that this district succeeds.
Yeah.
And not a personal vested interest because he wants to run away from a city that he's had for 16 years and now he sees everything coming due.
Right. Right.
We need someone who has that personal in the core vested interest in seeing our district succeed. Why should we have schools in parts of the district that are phenomenal and schools that aren't? They should all be working. If the Democrats had this for 90 years, why are they not all phenomenal? They say they have all the answers. They say they can bring prosperity. Where is it? Where is it?
Yeah. Yeah. And look, this is what it comes down to. We've had blue leadership in this region for 90 years, just in the 1st congressional district, right? Just in that seat. Oh, and not even talking about the rest, which has been there for much, much longer. It's time. It really is time to shake things up. It's time to make it different. But I'm going to tell you, I don't believe that we're going to win unless we have a candidate that can welcome across the aisle, right? A candidate that can say, I understand your concerns when it comes to healthcare. I understand your concerns when it comes to right to work. I understand your concerns when it comes to many of these other issues that many on the right won't touch, right? They stay away like it's contagious.
When we dropped off a sign to one of our supporters, an ex-employee of mine, who I now consider a friend, I was very lucky to leave a job where I left as a supervisor, and my employees became my friends. And she's a wonderful lady. We have a crisis in home health care for elderly as well as intellectual and developmentally disabled individuals that will be short 1 million jobs very, very soon. No other candidate on either side has acknowledged this. The people that work those jobs, be they nurses, home health attendants, direct service providers, QIDPs, case managers across the board in the industry. It's not a career, but focusing more on the direct service providers. They get paid $8 to $10 an hour to go to a job where they have to be there. If you call off of your job runs a little slow for the day maybe, but they live. These are individuals that are most vulnerable, that need protection from people stealing from them, that need protection to make sure they're taking their medicines and they're getting their feedings. These people make $8 to $10 an hour and have the biggest hearts I've ever seen. In my life. Let's make that a career path. So our parents, when they become elderly, our children, if we have a child that's born that becomes developmentally disabled,
that has special needs,
has staff, and let's reward them with a career path. Nobody's addressing that, and that need is going to increase through the years. On either party. So we have a candidate who recognizes that a large part of our district is made up of DSPs and home health aides. Let's honor them and all the work they do by giving them a career and an actual income.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, Tammy, unfortunately, we did talk about SignGate. We actually talked about I still can't say.
That's what I was talking about with endorsements.
Oh yeah, the Colorado thing.
Tammy's one that kind of saw my little rant about authentic endorsements live, and that's why when we get endorsed, that endorsement should be taken seriously. Why are we getting endorsed by people in Colorado? I saw a screenshot that was shared with me that several people from the city of Hammond went to workshop convention in Colorado that was hosted by this PAC for road repairs. And now this PAC is endorsing the mayor of Hammond.
Yeah, so
For us, like I will repeat for Tammy, as the Republican Party, we got to get the best endorsements. We got to get endorsements from regular people and business owners, and they have to be so authentic and so tight that they are not fodder for the Democratic Party, because it is going to get ugly.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and we see in comes a super PAC with no record to the rescue. God only knows what back alley deal went down
And
to
that's
bring
not
this
the
to
first one
NWI.
he had another one.
Right.
He's getting endorsed. If I look at if him and Frank are the two front runners, and I look at their endorsements, I will say this: with Frank, I see real organizations, real people, real businesses that aren't huge, that are doing good, endorsing Frank. And I see all these businesses endorsing Tommy. And that's why endorsements are so important, because when you're undecided, that's where you look. So we have big money backing Tommy. We have real people backing Frank. Where would the voter go? And that's why endorsements are important. Where am I going to go? What groups align with my values?
Yeah, and of course he had campaign donations made by his children who work for him. So it's just a way to take money around.
Never think to go to my son at 18 and go, hey, how about you
give me give me
my
money
husband's
to my campaign. Look,
No.
my son works at McDonald's. Okay, it's his first job, fast food, and
he's been there almost a year.
So he's been there almost a year. It's a real job, and it is incredible how hard he works, right? He goes in, he does his job, and he comes home and he's like, these people don't want to work. They want to sit there and play on their phones, and they don't want to do their job. And it's refreshing to hear that from him, because he realizes the issues that exist, and he's above that. But I couldn't even think of going to him and being like, give me thousands of dollars so that I can, spend it while running for Congress.
Tammy, I actually have screenshots about this that I will send to you via Messenger so you can see what I've been shown. This company is just
they're sketchy.
Business,
they're sketchy.
He's getting in it's almost like pay to play. Like one candidate actually contacted an organization, said, I will pay for people to have my sign up.
Yeah.
Okay. You got $130, over $100,000 for a company, for an organization that's in Colorado. That does road work, and you sent your department, your transportation people to their conference.
103,000.
Yeah. They do road work. They had a road work conference. You sent your street department people there, and now they're endorsing you.
Yep.
If it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's a McDermott. Sorry.
Yeah.
But for us, June 3rd.
Yeah. Day after.
Dion doesn't get it. We go back to life.
Yeah. If I don't win, right, I will help candidates, whomever wins the Republican nomination. I will pass along all of the things that I have learned that can help them. My live stream information, my social media, I think I do better on several of these things, but I'm probably still going to keep up the live stream.
We still stay active in our community. I go back to grad school. Some of the stuff I put on the back burner to help becomes front burner again. Our kids don't have as exciting of a June as they thought.
This whole...
But life just goes back to normal. And also, you gotta be a graceful loser.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I don't care what
party
you belong to.
Yeah, Thursday. This coming Thursday, the 21st. Make sure Make sure that you tune in to the Portage Republicans GOP.
There will be no Dion's Daily Dose live. I'm not hosting
Yep.
anything because I would probably be the worst. I'd be like, huh, what? So I will host a watch party on my page, and also I will share it to MX so people can see it. Of all, there's 6, right? Total people running.
Yeah, there's 6 running on the Republican. There are 4 or 5
present.
that are going to be at the debate.
4 because Bill, I don't think he responded, and Shannon can tell me if
I'm not. There's going to be at least 4.
And Mark doesn't
want to do anything.
Speak.
Yeah, Mark doesn't want to do anything.
First ever District 1 congressional live stream debate.
Yep.
I know they were asking for questions. I don't know if they still are. They were asking, you could have your question asked, and you would send it into one of the people that were hosting. I think Gutierrez. I'm not sure who else, and you can have a chance to ask
Austin Bonta.
Austin, you have a chance to ask your question. Of course, if it is a respectable and
Yeah, I linked.
What's your favorite toppings on a hot dog? Well, that could be one.
It might be one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So there still are taking questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put your question in. I'm not, believe it or not, because I'm not impartial.
Yeah.
But I will definitely be hosting a watch party for it. I think that's going to, when you watch the debate, you're going to see, can your candidate or which candidate can truly handle themselves? Because if they're going to go to DC and they're going to pass bills and be part of bills, there's going to be a debate there. If they can't publicly speak, if they can't discuss their ideas and their policies amongst 4 people,
right,
and how good are they going to do in DC?
And look, we know from experience that congressmen are make or break in the media. That's just the way it is. The media coverage on them is what makes them. It's what destroys them.
Yes.
If someone that we choose to represent Northwest Indiana cannot look at a camera and keep their composure and look at a camera and answer questions, it's not going to work. Today is a technological age, right? We have to get with the times. And we need a candidate who's going to speak with the people, not just for the people. As you see, every night, 7 p.m., I'm here to listen to you. You give me your comments, I put them on screen, I respond to you in real time. That's what we need. He
responds to Messenger, because you know how many times I hear his phone go off, and it's someone who's asked him a question, and he makes a point. Now, obviously, during sleeping hours, that's a little different.
Right.
But if it's during your 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., you message him a question, you're within minutes, you're going to have an answer, even if it's let me look into that and get back to you.
Yeah.
How many other candidates are that responsive? And I go back to the same statement. If they're not responding now in the primary, when we're all home, not all, I mean, they do have jobs, but if they don't have time, how do you think they'll have time for you in Washington, D.C., where they're getting pulled? And I read an article where oftentimes their schedule is scheduled to the minute.
Yeah,
if
down to the minute. If they don't have
time for you now, if they won't talk now, if they believe, and there's one candidate.
There's at least one candidate who believes they're better than you.
Better, but they also believe that they now deserve this because they've run so many times.
No, that's another thing,
If they have that opinion and that viewpoint and the inability to answer your questions now, they're not going to have time for you.
Right.
In DC.
Right.
They're not. They're not. And if you can't get an answer for them now, think about that. Because right now you're a voice in one district.
Yeah.
You get to DC, you're still the voice of the district, but now they're hearing 90 million other voices.
Yeah, they're hearing. Here's the thing. When you run for an office, right, you're going to hear from the people that are most concerned. You're going to hear from the people that are looking into their options from a representative, right, to understand what they're about, to learn what they can do, how they talk, who they are. Once you get elected, all the people that didn't bother to vote suddenly believe you owe them something. Right. And you do. You are their representative. But the pressure gets cranked way up, and the people that can't be bothered to respond right now are not going to be able to handle the thousands and thousands and thousands of requests that are out there.
If they can speak professional in debate, they can't do anything watching. And it's not just how do they talk.
Right.
What are they saying? Mm-hmm. We all know people who can talk for 30 minutes
and say nothing. Yep. And say absolutely nothing.
Yes, appearances and how you speak in a debate is so important. But what are you speaking about? What's your message? What are you conveying? And I have seen candidates for president, for senator, for governor that I was all in, and then that one thing I was like, oh no. And you have to be willing to say, well, I liked them up until I saw them talk. Now it's over.
Yeah.
But the debate is going to be so important. If your candidate doesn't show up, maybe it's time to rethink your candidate.
Right. If you're, and this is another really important point, is if your candidate has not shown up for debates, for roundtables, for live streams, for any of the stuff, right? The forums, maybe it's time to consider another candidate. Spencer has been to just about every one except when he was working. Something's got the police across with
chasing a cat.
Something chasing a cat.
With an arm?
With AM-47, AK-47.
Oh, well, I'm giving
across
that
the street. I don't know. AM-47. I don't know.
Cat with that.
Yeah.
I got 3. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
You also need. I forgot. I was unable to.
Yeah, it's fine.
It just left.
But I do want to point out, Paul said, Pete with the Times or Massey with the MSM. Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. You get those representatives that get in front of the cameras and just
keep talking. I like this comment.
Yeah. Follow a politician into a small business or restaurant. Look at the way they act when they think no one's watching.
But I will also say this. At no point should a candidate go into any fellow candidate's place of business with a camera and start harassing people.
Yeah.
Just going to say that. Watch them, don't harass them.
Yeah.
Even if we have to be better.
Yeah, be better. Really.
The other side.
Yeah.
So if you see your candidate that you were all for, or any candidate go into a restaurant and just treat waitstaff horrible or whatever, I mean, share that, but don't attack the person. Yeah. We have to be better than all of that.
Yeah, let's not attack people. Period. We're better than that. Look, I don't attack people. I stand on what I believe I can do better. What I stand on policy. I stand on the facts that I feel are very evident. But I will absolutely agree with Dave. Watch how these people treat people that they're the same as, right?
Or watch how they treat.
Yeah.
I was on.
And they believe they're better. They believe.
I was directed to one of the candidates' pages, and it's not Spencer.
Yeah.
And it's not yours.
Right.
To see an interaction that this candidate had with someone who was simply asking them a question about how they felt about 5G. The person asked a question. The candidate responded with, "You don't know what you're talking about." The person that responded with, "That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this." So it was a little bit of a miscommunication. And the candidate fires back with, "I'm right, you're wrong. Here's an article that proves me right," and ghosted on this person. So I went and I private messaged this individual and I said, "Hey, here's what Dion feels." Because in my opinion, when that candidate tossed that person to the wind, that person could very much look at our party and say, forget the Republican Party, because they're all going to treat me like that, and go to Tommy's side or Harper's side. Yeah. So at least to let them know that there are, and I did mention other candidates, there are other candidates who are going to answer your question. Don't leave. But if your candidate dismisses potential or current supporters because they disagree with them,
Yeah.
That's important.
And that's another thing. Look, there are people out there that just have an absolutely skewed version of reality. They exist, right? We all know. Some of us are married to people like that. Um, Not me. I'm just saying.
I think people should be nice to each other.
Right.
Awesome.
Look, there are those people that are gonna try to pull you down a rabbit hole of crazy, right? They're gonna try to pull you down into things that just make no sense. But you still have to treat these people with respect, right? You still have to understand that to them, perception is reality, right? The things that they believe are very, very real to them. I have, personal experience with people who have paranoid schizophrenia, and perception is reality to them. They are very, very afraid of the things that they believe are going on. You have to be kind. You have to treat people with respect. That's really what it comes down to. You have to treat people with respect and understand that just because someone may not agree with you, doesn't necessarily make them wrong. If you don't have facts and evidence to back up your side, then how are you absolutely certain that you're correct? But more importantly, you can agree with someone in a positive, constructive fashion, just like you can disagree with someone in a positive, constructive
But I
fashion.
will say this: if anyone thinks that there's a single candidate that is more pro 2A than you, they are out of. As someone who lives with this man and has lived with this man for the last decade, a little bit more,
Yeah.
there is not one person that is more pro 2A that is running in this race than Dion. Hands down, doesn't exist, and will go to Washington, D.C. to protect that one, all rights,
Yeah.
especially 2A.
Yeah.
If anyone thinks that there is a candidate that he is not conservative, you so wrong. So wrong. Anyone that is more pro-life, I say this story all the time, he is so pro-life. When we had a cat we didn't know was pregnant, took it to the vet because we thought it was dying because we didn't know it was pregnant, and the vet just casually said, oh, we can, fix her now. It'll be a cat abortion. He was like, I'm pro-life. I'm not going to give this cat an abortion. There is no candidate that is more pro-family, pro-life, pro-2A, pro-constitutional, and will be a conservative voice in D.C. like Dion. Not Spencer, not Mont, not Delano, not Bill, not Mark. Never doubt. Take it from the wife. Pro 2A, pro conservative. I'll tell you how conservative my husband is. I'm going to tell this story.
Oh no.
When we were getting married, we did our traditional premarital counseling. We talked about the vows. We kind of wrote our own vows, but it wasn't like, oh, when I saw you, I fell in love, and your eyes lit up like the stars. It wasn't like that, because I'm just not like that either. The word obey came into the topic.
Yeah.
The traditional marriage vows. I lost my mind. I said, you are out your mind. I am not saying obey. You are out your mind. Nope. And it was a deal breaker for him.
Mm-hmm.
And our pastor, who I have known since I was 14, so at that point, a good 15 years I've known. He went, okay, hold up, stop, because Liz, you sound crazy. Just wait. What does it mean to you, Dion? The word obey. Boss, and she's gonna do what I say when I say it, and dinner better be on the table. It was your traditional, the dad, the husband takes care of the family and provides, and the mom, almost like your traditional 1950s, but without the whole oppress the women and any negative connotation. He wanted traditional conservative wedding. He wanted the church wedding. I didn't even want the church wedding. He wanted the church wedding because he wanted to get married in a church, be conservative and traditional. He is a conservative voice. He is a pro-Second Amendment voice. He is a pro-constitutional voice. And anybody who says that their candidate is more than Dion is out of their mind. Out of their mind. Out of their mind.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny, Dave. You're absolutely right. That was something else that I was going to point out before we end this. Just like he says, it's funny how we now consider the Bill of Rights conservative because at the time it was radical. It was incredibly radical. How could you guys think of this? The same thing with the Republican Party, right? Uh, the Republican Party was established on the basis of every person is equal. It was established to combat slavery, to end it. And Republicans were routinely attacked
Right.
and hurt uh, because they supported that. And they were considered radicals at the time. So that is actually interesting.
But
So,
really research each candidate because we do have 2 military vets running.
mhm.
We do have 3 current and former enforcement individuals running.
Yep.
There, as far as the campaigns go, all candidates are saying that they're that conservative.
No, three vets because
Was
Bill
some-
Powers.
Oh, 3 vets.
Yeah, yeah.
3
Sorry about that.
current and former law enforcement.
Yep.
So figure out what differentiates them because that can't be enough. Well, I want to vote for a vet. Well, now you have a choice between 3. Well, I want
Right.
to vote for law enforcement. Well, you got 2 current, 1 former. What is it? I know you shared that graph that
Yeah,
was made.
yeah. There's a
Look
graph.
at that.
Hmm.
Look at websites, look at Facebook, reach out to each candidate because there are a lot of similarities. You have to find the difference. I would say you and Spencer would probably be the most conservative,
Yeah.
but you guys have differences.
Yeah.
Look at each candidate.
Mhm.
So when you go into that booth on June 2nd and you think of everything,
Or fill your ballot
Or
out
fill
and
your
send it
ballot.
in if you're doing vote by mail.
you know you're voting for the right conservative.
Right.
The-
It just comes down to me. I believe that this is an opportunity that we have with this district, and we cannot waste it.
No,
We
be a
cannot
part
waste
of
this
it.
opportunity. We absolutely must choose the candidate that has the very best opportunity to win, that has the best chance of pulling those votes from the left.
Right.
Right? Republican talking points are not going to pull those votes. And many of the candidates on the right, that's what they have. They have Republican talking points with no real strategy, no real ability to reach across the aisle and to say, yeah, you know what? You do make a good point. Our healthcare system does suck. And just doing it this way isn't going to work.
And a lot of residents in District 1 have been conditioned to believe that you put a Republican into office, they're going to lose their food stamps, they're going to lose their housing, they're going to lose their job, they're going to lose everything. Their life's going to be destroyed, and they're going to be left to the wind.
Yeah.
Because that is what the Democratic Party has said.
Yeah, that's what they've
Republicans
pushed.
want to come in and destroy everything. And the right candidate to win the primary has to be one that can come in and not be like, oh, I'm here to help. But actually sit down and be like, you know what? I've gotten that green Lipscope.
Right. I've gotten that green bill. I've been on Medicaid at one point. I have been on food stamps. I understand.
I've been that single parent.
Yeah, I've been a single
personally
parent.
touched by the opioid crisis. I've had that broken family.
Yep.
You can't relate when you're a Democrat with millions of dollars. You
No,
can't.
no, you can't.
There's exactly no
Yep.
individualism. They all have money.
Right.
When you have money and you've had money for a long time, you tend to forget what it's like.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
we need a real candidate, but we need a Republican candidate that can reach across the aisle
Right.
and talk and understand.
Yeah. Yeah, because look, we're not going to get this district with the same talking points, the same old stuff that we've been pushing every election as Republicans. Look, absolutely Donald Trump and his popularity is a huge point, but a candidate cannot just be a Trump mouthpiece. We need more. We deserve more.
I've
So-
lost relationships with family members because I'm conservative and they aren't. And they automatically, you're xenophobic, you're homophobic. That's the image that, especially in our district,
Yeah.
they have painted of Republicans. So we need that candidate. Then we also all need to rally around that candidate and show them, no, we're not. we're regular people. We're more regular than the Democratic candidates.
Yep.
Come to our side
Yep.
and see that we're all regular people.
Mm-hmm.
So we all have to have the right candidate to reach across the lines.
Yep.
Bill Powers, he's an elderly gentleman. I think this is a bucket list thing. I don't think he is up to it. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. Mark has had chance after chance after chance after chance. Hasn't happened.
Yeah.
He is a Republican Party talking point.
Yeah.
The right candidate, or we're never. This district will never.
Right. Because look, this election is so critically important. It really, really is. 2020 is so huge. Not just presidential, right? Your local offices are critically important, but Congress, the House of Representatives, if we do not get this back to red, all the work that the president has done is for nothing.
And these people, these liberals, this is a headline I saw. The movement doesn't care about Biden's allegations.
Yeah.
He's like, they're like, oh, it can be forgiven. There are women that have said, I wouldn't care if Biden raped my baby. I'm still voting for him. This is the logic that we are going to go against. And it has to be met. It has to be understood. And it has to be met by the right person.
Right. And Paul makes a good point. You know, he personally leaves candidates who follow Trump's string. And I'm telling you, I really believe, right? Because this was a Hillary district. Mm-hmm. It went Hillary.
It'll go Biden.
If we do not have a candidate that can reach across the aisle and be an individual, right, regardless of party, right, that is willing to say, I'm not just going to toe that party line. I'm going to be the representative you need, the representative you deserve, and I'm going to represent both.
What happened?
I don't know what happened, but it's time to...
All right.
Yeah, we had it. Hopefully, my processor will be in soon, and we'll lose any of the lag issues. We'll have to see what happens. But thank you very much for coming out. Appreciate it.
Yep. This will probably be the last time for real that y'all see my face, but you'll hear my voice on Facebook.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's nothing if not vocal. So thanks again for hanging out with us, and we will see you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Go vote.
Yeah, make sure you vote. Whoever you vote for is your business, but
vote and then be ready to work your butt off to flip this district.
Yeah, absolutely. So God bless you, and God bless the USA.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers, Sean Holgram and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2020. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.